Hey guys, so today I'm going to share with you my Giallo collection. For anyone looking for more obscure titles and stuff. I'm not going to go on too much about anything because I have way too many and it'll take forever. But first, Dario Argento, Bird with the Crystal Plumage. This is his first film and it's extremely good. I really like this one. It's like a modern day style Jack the Ripper. It's very stylish, and the soundtrack and the cast is great, so that one's definitely worth getting. Cat O' Nine Tails. This is not a good DVD, but hopefully I'll upgrade to Blu-ray, so it's kind of hard to give criticism on this one, because it's just a really bad DVD. But it is a little slower, but it still is a good mystery. Four Flies on Grey Velvet. This one is really good too. There's some creepy scenes in it, I think, and I like the modern technology side of the ending. People say this is probably one of his best films. This is Deep Red. This is probably my second favorite film by him. Again, it's really bloody. The soundtrack, once you hear it, you'll just never get it out of your head. Yeah, really great movie. My favorite by him is Suspiria. I can't wait for Synapse to release this on Blu-ray. It's going to be awesome. This one is just so stylish. I think he totally outdid himself on this one. Goblin does like probably the best soundtrack to all the films I've seen by him on this one too. So yeah, this one's definitely worth checking out. It has more of a supernatural element to it than Giallo, but technically I still think it is a Giallo. Tenebrae. I just watched this and I love this film. I think it's really great, and I think he had a lot to say because he didn't really want to go back to the Giallo. I think he wanted to keep making like supernatural like horror stuff, but he was kind of forced into this one, and I think there's a lot of subliminal messages and meanings in there. So yeah, I think that's a really good film. Opera. This one is very stylish and really good too. My only criticism is I'm not crazy about the ending, but other than that, it's pretty awesome. Next is Phenomena. Not really a Giallo technically either, but I love this one. It's really different. I love all the animals in it and stuff. I thought it was really different. Next is the Stendhal Syndrome. I was not a fan of this one. I felt it dragged on just way too long, and I don't know, I just really couldn't get into that one. Sleepless. I love Sleepless. This one's really good, especially he made this one in 2000, and I thought it was really dark and has some really great bloody kills in it. So yeah, I really enjoy that one. Trauma. Another one I'm not too crazy about, but I'm pretty forgiving. It's still a good movie. One of his probably more disliked films, The Card Player. Once again, I'm pretty forgiving when it comes to like horror movies, but this one's okay in its own right, I guess. It just doesn't really feel that much of like a Dario Argento movie to me. Next is his homage to Hitchcock, so it's called Do You Like Hitchcock? This one's just average. It's okay. I don't hate it. I don't love it. So next we'll go on to Fulci. He did some really great Giallos. Probably Don't Torture a Duckling is my favorite. I do not have it. I missed out on the first print of it, and then nobody's released it in North America on Blu-ray, so hopefully that happens soon. Don't Torture Ducklings is best film, like in my opinion, or like it's a pretty close tie between that and Zombies for me. Yeah, Lizard in a Woman's Skin. This one has some really eerie, disturbing dream sequences in it. It's been a while since I watched this one. I'd like to pick up the Blu-ray and rewatch it again, but yeah, I remember really liking that one a lot. I love Florinda Balkan. I think she's a great actress. New York Ripper. Some people say this is misogynistic, but whatever. I enjoy it. I don't really think it's that misogynistic, but that's just my opinion. Next we'll move on to Umberto Lenzi. He also did some of my favorite Giallos. I think Dario Argento gets a lot more attention than a lot of other directors that did some really solid movies, really. Umberto Lenzi and Sergio Martino, they probably did some of my favorite Giallos, so I gotta give them credit for sure. Knife of Ice with Carol Baker. She plays a mute woman who became mute after witnessing her parents' death. It has a black magic kind of theme running in it, and it's not really that bloody. But yeah, it's worth watching. I really like that one a lot too. I like the black magic theme running throughout it also. My favorite by him, I don't know why it just is, but Seven Bloodstained Orchids. Yeah, I don't know, I love the title of it too. I think all Giallos, that's one of the reasons you get so interested in them, because they have such amazing, weird titles. The longer and weirder a title is, the more you want to see it. So anyway, Seven Bloodstained Orchids. This one has Antonio Sabato, and a lot of people didn't like him in this, but I thought he was really good, and yeah, pick this up. It's one of my favorites. Next up by Umberto Lenzi is Spasmo. This is such a weird movie. The mannequins, it's a beautiful, gorgeous movie, but for me to tell you what the hell's going on, I have no idea. But yeah, I found the plot kind of hard to follow, but it's still a really interesting, weird film. Eyeball. This one's a good movie too. Sleazy. Some good eyeball scenes, obviously. Yeah, so that one's pretty good too, which also needs to get another release. Next up is Aldo Lads, Short Night of the Glass Dolls. People love this one, but I don't know, I just wasn't really a fan of it. I love that Mario Adorf's in it, but I don't know. I just had trouble paying attention to that one. Seven Deaths in the Cat's Eyes. I don't remember really being crazy about this one either, but I think it's a decent watch. It's by Antonio Margheriti. He did some pretty good other movies like Long Hair of Death. I don't know, my brain can't think right now. Okay, Strip Nude for Your Killer. Yes, this one is extremely sleazy, but it's solid fun, and I think it deserves more credit than it gets. I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I think it's a really fun movie. Edwidge Fenech's naked a lot in that movie, so you can't really go wrong there. Whisper in the Dark. This is more of a supernatural one, but some people still classify it as a Giallo. Another one I'm not too crazy about. I found it a little slow. Who Saw Her Die? This one's kind of disturbing, and one of the few Giallos that deal with like child murders in it. But yeah, it has a really good cast, and yeah, it's definitely worth a watch too. It's different, not your usual Giallo. Okay, The Pajama Girl Case. Yeah, I didn't like this one at all, so I'm not gonna say much about that. And not to mention, actually, this Blu-ray disc, like, it came factory sealed, and it, like, the ending like screws up. So I don't know, maybe that's why I don't like it. One of my favorites is The Killer Must Kill Again, and I love that title. But this one's a really, really dark one, and extremely cynical. George Hilton's in it. He's amazing in everything he's in. It's by the director that did that Alien movie, Contamination. But this one's a lot better. I enjoyed this one. I think this is probably like his best one. But yeah, this one's a really, really vicious one. Not really many likable people in this movie, but it's not your usual Giallo either, so I'd highly, highly recommend that one. Next by Antonio Vito is Watch Me When I Kill. This one's pretty good too. It's pretty standard. A lot of people say it's a rip-off of Deep Red, but I think it has enough wackiness in it to hold its own, so yeah, Watch Me When I Kill. I think this one's pretty good. Also by the same director is The Bloodstained Shadow, which is a lot better than Watch Me When I Kill, but like, I still like Watch Me When I Kill, but this one is like a lot better. Deals with a lot of disturbing stuff too, with like Catholicism and pedophilia, and I don't know, but yeah, that one's pretty interesting too. And it has like one of the most weirdest, bizarre killers in it, so I picked that one up. Murder Obsession, I can't really remember this one. Not really sure. It seems like I liked it, but I think maybe I had a little too high of expectations, I think. Yeah, next is Naked Girl in the Park. And this one's just average in my opinion. I guess I should have started probably with Mario Bava actually, but anyway, so next is Mario Bava. He probably basically did all the groundwork for what Giallo would become to be. This is The Girl Who Knew Too Much. This is very much more of like a Alfred Hitchcock type movie. It has John Saxon in it, which was really cool because I've never seen him that young. It's shot in Rome. Oh yeah, this one's from 1963. So yeah, it's really cool to see Rome back then, and yeah, I like it's filmed in black and white, so like the nighttime shots like of Rome are like really sinister, and in the daylight it's absolutely beautiful. But yeah, that's a good one. It's also kind of loosely based off the ABC murders, but not really. But A Bay of Blood. This is kind of more of a slasher than a Giallo, but it could still work as both. Anyway, Friday the 13th would go on to copy one of the kills in A Bay of Blood in number 2. But anyway, that's another story. Blood and Black Lace. This one sets all the groundwork for the basic Giallo, really. Fashion House, Black Glove Killer, etc. And next up is one of my favorites, Sergio Martino. Torso. I absolutely love this one. This is probably like one of my favorites because I love how it starts off as like a Giallo, and like everyone in it's so sleazy. It's so hard to know who the killer is because yeah, everyone could be the killer. But I love how it starts like a Giallo and then it goes into like a full-fledged slasher and like in like the last act. But yeah, it's a really sinister film. Like even like the POV shots and stuff is just really creepy. And there's some really intense moments in that film. Your Vice is a locked room and only I have the key. Another one by Sergio Martino, and this one is also amazing. It gives like a fresh take on Edgar Allan Poe's The Black Cat, and it's also very bloody and sleazy also. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I'm glad someone finally re-released it again, so that's great. It's out by Arrow. Another one by Sergio is The Scorpion's Tail. This is another really solid one too. George Hilton, Anita Strindberg. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that one. It's pretty damn solid. Okay, another one by him is A Blade of the Ripper, which is also called The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward. This one has a lot of BDSM in it, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. George Hilton's pretty awesome in it. The blood is like so vibrant and everything in that one too. Last by Sergio Martino is, this is a German title, Der Farben der Nacht, but it's actually called All the Colors of the Dark. This one is like a black magic, like occult, and yeah, it has some really cool scenes in it. And it has some of the funniest dialogue too, like the girl's like talking about how she was having problems, and the other girl says to her, well, why don't you go to a black mass? That helped me. So it's like, yeah, okay, let's go. Like that's just like a normal everyday thing. So yeah, that one's pretty fun. Okay. Naked You Die. I also really enjoyed this one too. This one's definitely worth picking up. It's by Antonio Margheriti also. Lambola de Satania. Yeah, this one's like more of like a gothic type movie, but it has some really nice set pieces, and like wherever it was shot is just beautiful. It is classified as a giallo, but I kind of consider it more of like a gothic type movie. This is out by Twilight Time, and it was limited to 3,000 copies. I'm not sure if they're still selling it, but if you're a diehard giallo fan, then yeah, you should pick it up, but if not, it's fairly average. My Dear Killer, this is another pretty good one. And a lot of viewers would probably be uncomfortable with the running theme of like pedophilia in it, but it does have a very intriguing, engaging story that has a pretty satisfying ending, and there's decapitation, circular saw blade deaths. Yeah, it's an interesting movie. Okay. The Killer reserved 9 seats. This one totally shocked me. Like 1974, there's some really vicious kills in this, and the dialogue is just hilarious. It's only available on Region 2, but yeah, definitely worth getting a Region 2 player for. Once again, yeah, there's some really vicious kills in this one. It's got like a supernatural kind of part to it too. Yeah, it's really good. I liked it a lot. Oh yeah, so it's based off Agatha Christie's 10 Little Indians, which Michel Sauvé also did something very similar. It's called Stage Fright, which is also based off 10 Little Indians. This is probably one of my favorites. It's obviously probably more in the slasher than giallo, but it still is like a mystery, and there is some seriously intense scenes in this film, and I love the killer's owl mask. It's just epic. I only have a bootleg of this, but I think someone's actually putting it out on Blu-ray, but it's going to be a Region 2. I don't have a Blu-ray Region free player. I'm going to have to pick one of those up one of these days. But yeah, Death Laid an Egg. This one is one of the weirdest, most bizarre, crazy, incoherent, like, you have to watch it a few times to like really understand the plot. Like, it's super confusing. I even wonder if this version is like somewhat cut. But yeah, this one is very interesting. It's by the director that did Django. Oh, I can't think of the title right now, but it's also by Blue Underground, but he also did that, so yeah, he does some really weird stuff. It's too bad he didn't make more movies, because he had a really bizarre style. Okay, Case of the Bloody Iris. This is another good one with Edwidge Finick. Yeah, George Hilton. They did a lot of these giallos together. This is a really good one too. I'd highly recommend it. It's also called Why Are Those Strange Drops of Blood Doing on Jennifer's Body, I believe. But yeah, this one's a really good one too. I enjoyed it. French Sex Murders. This one's super sleazy. It's also good, but I was a little unsatisfied, but I mean, it's not bad. It's worth a watch. Black Belly of the Tarantula. This one is really good. It has an amazing cast. It's disturbing, like, and more sadistic maybe, because the killers or the victims can't do anything while like they're being killed. Yeah, it's got Barbara Boucher, one of my favorites, Barbara Bach. Yeah, it's a really good movie. Should definitely check that out. The Bloodstained Butterfly. This one's fairly average, but I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really good. Delirium. This one's just average. I wasn't that impressed by it, really. It's by Umberto Bava. It's okay. Like I said, if you're a diehard Giallo fan, then you'll probably want to pick all of them up anyway. So Sweet, So Dead, also called The Slasher is a Sex Maniac. This is one of my favorites too. Like, this movie is criminally underrated. It should definitely be watched more. I think Code Red's actually putting it out, so I'm excited to get the Blu-ray. And I actually have a Turkish Giallo. This was like limited to 1,200 copies. It's The Dead Don't Talk and Thirsty for Love, Sex and Murder. They're fairly average, but they're decent. Ruggiero Deodato, The Washing Machine. I love this packaging so much, so cool. It's a fairly average one, not really that exciting, but it's still a decent watch too. Okay, Massimo Dallamano, What Have You Done to Solange? I've already kind of talked about this one before. This one, to me, way ahead of its time, and just very, very stylish, and the ending really, really stays with you for a long time. It's actually part of the Schoolgirl and Perel trilogy. I believe he also directed, yes he did, he also directed the second one in the trilogy, which is called What Have They Done to Your Daughters. I almost want to say that this one I even like even more than the first one. This one's more focused on like the police, like, crime aspect of it, but yeah, it's definitely a good follow-up to What Have You Done to Solange. Third one in the trilogy is not by him. It's got Fabio Testi again, who is also in the first one, which makes it kind of weird, but I can't remember the name of it. I have a German title of it. I'm really, really sorry, I should have looked that up. It's all German on the back too, so I can't even tell you. But yeah, that's the third one. I think this is the only one that's available anyway. This one's meh. It's too bad he couldn't have directed the third one, Massimo Dallamano, because the first two are amazing. Next, The House with the Laughing Windows. This one is a super, super slow burn, but this one really stayed with me too. The visuals, really, really amazing, and I love the ending. Like, I did not see that coming. But yeah, if you have patience and don't mind a slow burn, this one's great. I thought it was just simply amazing. Alright, this one is Formula for Murder. This one's not bad. It's fairly average too. Not one of my favorite ones, but like I said, I love all Giallos. Like, I don't think there's any one that, like, I could say that I don't like at all. But yeah, I really do hope that, you know, they make a comeback and you start seeing like a lot more Giallos. There's already kind of been like a revival. Amir. This one's really, really beautiful. I had a hard time getting some of the segments, but I'd like to watch it again. Oh yeah, they also did another movie, The Strange Color of Your Body's Tears. This one is super weird, and it's definitely different. Yeah, I think they did a really good job. Another one is Sonno Profondo. So this is all newer ones. I wasn't crazy about this one. Their second effort, Francesca, which I talked about, this one I thought was really, really, really good. I liked it a lot better than Sonno Profondo. It's exciting to see what they're going to do for their third one. So, yeah, I still enjoy those. The Editor. This one's okay. It's kind of hokey, but it's a fun watch. Lots of boobs, violence. It's not bad. Bad Inclination. I think this tried to make like a Giallo comeback, but it's alright. Like, I don't know, I just wasn't all that impressed by it. Another one, Eyes of Crystal. This one is really good too. Definitely worth checking out. Yeah, one of the better newer ones. And yeah, now that my voice is really, really sore, thanks for listening to me. Bye.